Hey, stop scrolling right now, because what I'm about to tell you could literally save you $15,000 on your next truck purchase. $15,000. That's not a small number. That's a family vacation, a home renovation, or even a down payment on something bigger. And here's the wild part. Most people have absolutely no idea this is happening right now in the truck market. Dealers are nervous. Manufacturers are quietly making moves. And 4 of the most popular Ute models in the market are sitting on the edge of some of the biggest price cuts we've seen in nearly a decade. If you're even thinking about buying a Ute in 2025 or 2026, you need to watch this entire video before you walk into a single dealership. Trust me, you'll thank yourself later. Welcome to The Drive Intel, the channel where we break down what's actually happening in the auto market before everyone else catches on. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button right now and tap the like button too, because we put out content like this every single week, and you do not want to miss what's coming. We track pricing trends, dealer inventory data, manufacturer strategies, and real market shifts so that you, the buyer, always have the upper hand. Today's topic is one we've been building toward for months, and honestly, the timing couldn't be more perfect to talk about it. So let's get into it. The Ute market, which includes full-size and mid-size pickup trucks, has been on a wild ride over the last 4 years. After COVID hit, we saw supply chains collapse, inventory vanish from dealership lots, and prices shoot through the roof. People were paying $5,000, $10,000, even $15,000 above MSRP just to get their hands on a new truck. Dealers had all the power. Buyers had almost none, but markets always correct. And right now, in mid-2025, we are watching the very beginning of what analysts are calling a significant pricing correction. And it is targeting the UT segment harder than almost any other vehicle category. Let's talk about why this is happening, and then we'll get into the 4 specific models that are facing the biggest cuts. Here's the core reason this correction is starting now. Over the past year and a half, production has ramped back up dramatically. Factories that were running at reduced capacity are now fully operational again. Some manufacturers actually overproduced, trying to make up for lost time. At the same time, consumer demand has softened. Interest rates are still sitting at elevated levels, and a lot of buyers who were planning to purchase in 2025 have been sitting on the fence because monthly payments on a new truck have become genuinely painful. We're talking about a $50,000 truck turning into a $900 or even $1,000 per month payment at current financing rates. That's pushing buyers away. And when you combine oversupply with reduced demand, you get one thing: price cuts. And that is exactly what's starting to happen right now across the board. Now, let me walk you through the 4 models that are facing the most significant pricing pressure, and I want to be very clear here. I'm not guessing. These are models where we're already seeing the early signals: increased incentives, higher days on lot averages, growing inventory numbers, and manufacturer cashback programs quietly being expanded. These are the 4 trucks where the $15,000 haircut is either already starting or is extremely close to beginning. The first model we need to talk about is the Ford F-150. Now, I know what you're thinking. The F-150 is the best-selling vehicle in America. How could it possibly be facing a price crash? And that's a completely fair question. But here's the thing. Being number 1 in sales doesn't make you immune to market forces, especially when your inventory levels start climbing faster than your sales pace can keep up with. Ford has been producing F-150 trucks at an aggressive rate, and right now, dealer lots across the country are sitting on inventory that is aging. When a truck sits on a lot for more than 60 days, dealers start getting nervous. When it's 90 days, they start making phone calls to manufacturers asking for more support. And Ford has been responding, quietly expanding their customer cash programs, increasing dealer incentives. And in some regions, we're already seeing transaction prices on certain F-150 trims dropping anywhere from $8,000 to $12,000 below where they were just 12 months ago. The Lariat and XLT trims in particular are seeing the most pressure. As we move into the second half of 2025 and into 2026, industry analysts are projecting that the fully loaded F-150 prices could see corrections of up to $15,000 on specific configurations. If you've been watching a particular F-150 build, now is the time to start watching pricing very carefully, because the window of maximum discount is approaching fast. The second model facing serious pricing pressure is the Ram 1500. And honestly, Ram's situation might be the most dramatic of any truck on this list. Stellantis, which is Ram's parent company, has been going through some significant financial turbulence. They've been dealing with executive changes, strategic pivots, and increasing pressure to move inventory quickly. Ram had a production surge that left dealerships holding far more inventory than they can comfortably sell at current prices. We're talking about some dealers sitting on 90, 100, even 120 days worth of Ram 1500 supply. That is a serious problem. And to combat it, Ram has been rolling out some aggressive incentive programs. We're seeing cashback deals, low APR financing offers, and lease specials that are getting very attractive. In the used market, Ram 1500 residual values have already taken a noticeable hit, which is putting additional pressure on new vehicle pricing because buyers start asking why they should pay new truck money when gently used examples are available for so much less. Based on current trajectory, the Ram 1500 is one of the models most likely to see the full $15,000 swing, and possibly even more on high-end Laramie and Limited trims, as we push deeper into 2026. This is a truck where patience is genuinely going to be rewarded. Now let's talk about the third model, and this one might surprise some of you, the Chevrolet Silverado 1500. General Motors has been facing its own set of challenges. The transition toward electric vehicles has consumed a massive amount of capital, and in the meantime, their traditional truck lineup needs to keep generating strong revenue. But here's the problem. GM is caught in a difficult position. They've kept production levels high because trucks are their most profitable vehicles, but the high production is now creating the exact inventory problem we described with Ford and Ram. Silverado inventory has been climbing steadily at dealerships across major markets. And there's another factor here that's really important. The Silverado and the GMC Sierra share the same basic platform, and they're essentially competing with each other in addition to competing with Ford and Ram. That internal competition, combined with the broader market softening, is creating real pricing pressure on both models. The Silverado LT, LTZ, and High Country trims are the ones seeing the most aggressive discount activity right now. We've already documented cases where buyers in competitive markets are walking out of Chevy dealerships with $1,500 to $3,000 immediate savings just from negotiating, and that's before any manufacturer incentives are applied. As the market continues to correct through 2025 and into 2026, Silverado buyers who wait strategically could realistically capture $10,000 to $14,000 in total savings compared to what similar trucks were selling for at peak pricing. That is a life-changing difference on a vehicle purchase. The fourth model on our list is one that operates in slightly different territory, the Toyota Tundra. Now, Toyota has traditionally held its value better than almost any other truck maker, and their reputation for reliability gives them some pricing protection that Ford, Ram, and GM don't quite enjoy. But even the Tundra is not completely immune to what's happening right now. Toyota ramped up Tundra production significantly when they rolled out the current generation, and while initial demand was strong, it has cooled noticeably. The hybrid powertrain option called the iForce Max was extremely popular early on, but has been slowing in some markets as buyers balk at the premium pricing. Toyota has started quietly increasing dealer support and cash incentive programs, which is something they historically do very reluctantly. So when Toyota starts doing it, you know the market pressure is real. The Tundra won't see the same dramatic $15,000 crash that the domestic 3 might experience. But industry watchers are projecting realistic savings of $8,000 to $12,000 on Tundra Limited and Platinum trims as we move through 2026. And for a truck that rarely discounts, that is genuinely significant news. So now the real question is, what does this mean for you as a buyer? How do you position yourself to take advantage of this correction? Let me give you some very practical guidance here, because this is where the Drive Intel really tries to set itself apart from just giving you information. We want to give you information you can actually use. First, don't rush. This might sound obvious, but the number one mistake buyers make is feeling urgent when the market is actually moving in their favor. The pricing correction that has started is going to continue building through late 2025 and really accelerate into the first quarter of 2026. If you buy today, you'll get a decent deal. If you wait 3 to 6 months and watch how things develop, you could potentially capture significantly more savings. The only reason to move fast right now is if you have a very specific, urgent need. Second, watch inventory levels in your specific market. Pricing doesn't happen uniformly across the country. Some regions have dramatically higher inventory than others. Markets in the Midwest and parts of the South tend to have higher truck inventory, which means more pricing pressure on dealers in those areas. If you're flexible on where you buy, even if it means driving a few hundred miles, you could find deals that your local dealer simply can't match because their inventory situation is different. Third, always get competing quotes from multiple dealers before you negotiate. Walk into every conversation with numbers from at least 3 other dealers. Nothing motivates a dealer to sharpen their pencil faster than knowing you have genuine alternative offers sitting in your hand. In a softening market where dealers are hungry to move units, this tactic becomes even more powerful than it already was. Fourth, pay close attention to end of month and end of quarter timing. Dealers have sales targets. When they're behind those targets with a few days left in the month, they are in a significantly different negotiating mindset than they are in the middle of the month. March, June, September, and December are historically the strongest months for buyers to negotiate because they align with quarterly targets. Fifth, don't ignore the used market as a comparison tool. As new truck prices come down, late model used trucks are going to face even more downward pressure because the price gap between new and used shrinks. You can use used market pricing as a negotiating reference point when talking to new car dealers. If a 2-year-old version of the same truck is available for $12,000 less, that's a powerful conversation starter. Now, let's zoom out for a second and talk about why this moment in the market is genuinely different from typical seasonal fluctuations. What we're seeing isn't just the usual end-of-year clearance activity or a temporary incentive push. The structural factors driving this correction are deeper. Consumer confidence data is showing that large discretionary purchases are being delayed across the board. Credit tightening is making it harder for marginal buyers to get approved, which reduces the buyer pool. Trade-in values on trucks are declining, which hurts existing truck owners' ability to roll into a new purchase at the numbers they were expecting. And the growing threat of economic uncertainty is making even financially comfortable buyers more cautious. All of these forces are pointing in the same direction. Downward pressure on truck prices that isn't going away quickly. There's also an interesting wildcard factor that not everyone is talking about, and that is the electric truck effect. The Ford F-150 Lightning, the Chevy Silverado EVs, and other electric pickups are slowly, but very steadily, creating an alternative option for buyers who might have previously defaulted to a traditional gas-powered truck. Right now, electric trucks still represent a small percentage of overall truck sales, but their existence is changing buyer psychology. Some people who were going to buy a traditional truck this year are choosing to wait, either to see how electric truck technology develops or to see if electric truck pricing comes down. That hesitation, multiplied across thousands of buyers, is contributing to the slowdown in traditional ute demand. And that slowdown is feeding directly into the pricing correction we've been discussing. Before we wrap up, I want to address something that some of you might be thinking. You might be asking, if prices are going to come down more, should I just wait indefinitely? And my honest answer is no. There is a window here, and it doesn't stay open forever. Markets correct, manufacturers respond, and eventually supply and demand find a new equilibrium. The pricing opportunity we're describing, particularly that $8,000 to $15,000 savings potential on these 4 models, is most likely to be captured between roughly late 2025 and mid-2026. After that, as manufacturers start adjusting production downward to match demand, inventory will eventually tighten again, and pricing power will start shifting back. The smart play is to be ready, educated, and prepared to move when the moment is right. Not too early, not too late. And that is exactly why this channel exists. The Drive Intel is here to make sure you're always one step ahead of the market, always armed with real information, and never walking into a negotiation blind. We're going to continue tracking these 4 models specifically. And as we see pricing data develop and new incentive programs emerge, we will be right here breaking it all down for you. If this video gave you information you didn't have before, I genuinely want to ask you to do 2 things. First, drop a comment below and tell me which of these 4 trucks you've been looking at, or tell me which market you're shopping in. I read these comments, and your input actually helps shape what we cover next. Second, share this video with someone you know who's been thinking about buying a truck. Sharing literally costs you nothing but could save them $15,000. And I think that's worth 30 seconds of your time. The Drive Intel community grows when real people share real information with people they care about. And every share means more buyers are walking into dealerships informed and empowered instead of uninformed and at the mercy of whoever is sitting across the desk from them. Thank you so much for watching all the way through. It genuinely means everything to us. Stay smart, stay patient, and we will see you in the next one right here on the Drive Intel.